So I had a supporter ask me, how do you get other dimensional parts of yourselves to heal and alchemize the trauma that they're holding on to? And although this is a great question, I want to reframe the question, okay? Because you don't get them to alchemize pain and trauma, okay? You become a safe space that allows them to alchemize pain and trauma, and then you integrate them back into who you are. So, trauma fragments the soul, okay? When you experience something that is overwhelming, especially as a child, a part of you freezes in that timeline, okay? And that version of you is still holding on to the pain, the trauma, and the emotion in their body that you didn't have the capacity to process at that time. So when we talk about allowing past versions of ourselves to transmute pain and alchemize trauma, we are really essentially talking about the process of soul retrieval, which I'm going to give you 4 steps on how you can practically practice the art of soul retrieval, which is pretty much reintegrating fragmented parts of yourself that has frozen in time due to pain and trauma, right? Step 1, you want to work on healing your nervous system, okay? This allows for your nervous system to not be in survival mode, to get out of fight or flight and get into rest, digest, and healing mode, okay? You have to provide a safe environment for your trauma selves to be reintegrated in, okay? So step 1 is to regulate your nervous system. Step 2 is when you meet that version of yourself in meditation, okay? You get into a meditative state and you visualize the versions of yourself that is stuck in time, that is holding on to that trauma, and you sit with her or you sit with him. You ask him, where is it hurting? Why are you hurting? What is it that you need? What is it that you're holding on to? Okay. You allow them to express, because you have created a safe space for them to express that pain and that need to you. Okay. And many times in that state, you do cry. You know what I'm saying? You do release a lot of emotional energy. This is you allowing yourself to be heard, which moves us to step 3. Once you have met yourself in meditation and you understand where that pain is coming from, you offer yourself that reassurance. You offer yourself that protection. You offer yourself whatever it is that that version of yourself needed and that they wasn't receiving in that time, okay? You, in a sense, become that protector of yourself and you offer it to the version of yourself that is wounded, okay? Once you do that, we move on to step 4, where we are now integrating this energy with action, okay? You integrate this energy by shifting your action steps, by shifting your belief. If that part of yourself didn't have boundaries and her boundaries were overstepped, which caused that wound, you, as this current version of yourself, integrate that setting boundaries, okay? So when we talk about integration, integrating this means shifting your behavior, okay? It's making different choices, it's setting those boundaries, it's protecting yourself, okay? Having self-respect, it's saying no. You get what I'm saying? It's blocking off and removing access from people who hurt you or people who are attempting to hurt you or attempting to, you know what I'm saying, re-put you back into that energy. And the best thing about integrating all parts of your soul is that when the wound is healed, the trigger no longer affects you. Okay. And now you are able to take the parts of yourself that you have healed, integrate it into your current self so that you can fully embody who you were meant to be. And 9 times out of 10, the alchemy comes when you are able to transmute that pain and use it as your purpose, use it as your power, use it as your source of energy. You get what I'm saying? Or currency, right? So spiritually, you're collapsing distorted timelines. Psychologically, you are integrating disassociated parts of yourself. And somatically, you're teaching your body that it is now safe, okay? You are not retrieving a lost soul. You're reclaiming your own energy from the moments that it had to fragment itself in order to survive, okay? And those other dimensional parts of yourself, You don't need to control them. You need to become them, okay? And you need to become powerful enough to hold them. Because as soon as you hold them and reintegrate them, that's true alchemy. Love y'all. Bye.